Just gonna have like some background noise, some vamping in the background.
Welcome.
You know what? I'm down. If you're down.
To Burn After. We're just doing Burn After Watching. Okay.
We sure are.
Welcome to Burn After Watching. We know what show we're doing.
Watch after burning.
Yeah.
We let ourselves on fire and watch a movie.
Oh, God.
Sorry, we watched a movie that feels like
Feels like we did light ourselves on fire
Or did a lot
and
of
watch a
coke.
movie.
I used to love playing that.
It was terrible.
Guys, we saw the movie Cocaine Bear.
Now listen, we went into this with open minds. I love Elizabeth Banks. I still love Elizabeth Banks. And you know what? I love bears. I don't love cocaine. I don't really know, but I'm guessing no.
Yeah.
She has to say that because her friends at work watch.
Yeah, sure. I have no friends. So
I usually just
I have no
I
friends.
went into it with high hopes.
Let's proceed.
Ghost, because we're gonna need this.
I just kind of do my own thing.
So we're going to say
Yeah.
A-plus movie?
Oh man! So it starts out with typical drug heist type movie. They're in a plane.
it has Orange Cassidy's theme song. I was
Yeah,
like,
this
we're
is
ready to
a
go.
dope ass song.
Oh, and you know, that's what Wet Hot American Summer starts with, so it was kind of a callback. I was like, girl, you got me. I was into it. I was like, yeah, all right. And also it takes place in 1985, year I was born. So I'm like, all right,
1985.
sure, let's do this.
So what could go wrong?
Right? What could
It starts
go wrong?
off with stupid DB Cooper.
Kind of.
Guys, Lord Miller
Oh man, those are good.
directed this movie.
They're all good.
And Elizabeth Banks directed the movie Lord Miller produced.
Right, I was going to say Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, I mixed it around.
Ooh.
I like
Elizabeth Banks directed the movie, so we're ready for this, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a Lego movie, basically.
I was ready.
Everything is awesome.
It's not.
Lego movie.
It's not.
Cocaine on a plate.
Yeah, so there's cocaine on the plate. Good, I like that. We start out with a guy who's clearly super high on cocaine too. He's just like
Well,
he's
they said it was the 80s, so
he's freaking out, and he is just throwing cocaine out of a plane, just tossing it, just throwing it out, and then he's ready to jump himself. He's got the parachute on, and then does he just like fall out of the plane? Is that what happened? He like falls out and doesn't pull his chute,
He
right?
goes to get out and he hits his head on the top part.
There you go.
Gives his hand coke.
Yeah, and he dies. And guess what? All this coke just falls across. What state was it?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Wait.
Falls across Georgia.
Based on a true story, guys.
Based on a true story. Our story starts, and we get to meet all the characters.
There's so many.
All of them. All of them. Let's
Too
talk about
many
them.
fucking characters in this movie.
Too many
Too
storylines
many
to care
characters.
about, but let's do it. What characters do we have in this movie? We have a mom, Sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You know, she's like a 60s baby, and now she's a single mom, and she's got like a spunky daughter,
And
Dee
it's
Dee.
Carrie Russell, so she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She
And
looks,
she was
yeah.
April O'Neil too, and I'm like, this is like checking out two
I know,
boxes.
with her pink like jumpsuit.
Checking
Yeah,
out
it
two
was. Yeah.
boxes for me.
It was, yeah.
I'm down. Let's do this.
And you could tell that Elizabeth Banks was hitting all.
We don't have
of
the mom. The
nostalgia.
first two characters we meet are Tormund Giantbane.
Oh, yeah.
Olaf.
Hikers. We meet
Olaf
hikers.
is one guy, and I can't
this
remember his
state park.
lady's name. I can't remember the lady's
Helga, Olga. Hold on.
name. His name's Olaf. I know that.
I think it was Helga.
It could be.
But anyway, they're hiking and they're enjoying the beauty. Then all of a sudden they see a big old mean-looking CGI bear. I mean bear. And
Elsa. Elsa was there.
so they named them
Olaf.
after characters from Frozen. I
No, we
guess.
see you. We see you.
We see you, Elsa. We see you.
Anna was not there, unfortunately, because it got bad real quick.
Well, this couple's in love. Obviously, they're hiking to this beautiful spot
Yeah.
in the lower Appalachians. I'm guessing.
Georgia?
Yeah, lower
Yep.
Appalachians.
So-
Yeah.
yeah. I mean that's what I guess. They're mountainous, looking over things.
Elsa was not a big woman. I was waiting for it to see him with a big woman, but that's fine.
Not gotta let it go. Okay.
Never.
But they're just being very German and hiking together and,
I think they're.
I just can't believe they got Sami Zayn for this. I was like, wow, Sami
I know,
Zayn
right?
is in this?
I know. But yeah, they see this bear, and then he notices, he's like,
Gaming
the
was already
bears...
turned on because Dorman Giantbane was there, so she's like, "Let's do this," and I was like, "Okay."
Oh, is that why she likes me so much?
Oh my god, so that's definitely part of it. Yeah.
So...
Like she's like, "Can you go up?"
Yeah,
here?"
I'm trying. But then they see this bear, and this bear is acting real weird.
Smashing his head into
And also,
the tree.
like, nothing that you'd be like, this is something we need to stick around for.
No, she's like, oh, it's so cute, and he's
But
like, no, that's
They do a funny joke where he sees the bear doing stuff, and then when she looks, the bear's just like, chill.
Mhm.
It's like, that's a funny joke.
Didn't even
This
notice
is
that.
We're setting this up, and it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, we're gonna do all the gags.
Here comes the rest of the funny.
Yeah.
This might have been the part where I was downloading slotslice.com, and that's why.
Yeah, dude, I
totally.
I won a bunch of money. I put a bunch of. Actually, I just took a bunch of stuff and put it in a blender, and money came out. It's kind of cool. Best commercial ever, by the way.
So-
we watched this legally. It was legal.
Totally legal. So then the bear comes at him, and the bear gets Elsa. At least we see the bear like grab Elsa and pull her away.
I bet on cricket.
And then we go to some precocious children, right? I think that's who's next.
They're watching. No,
Henry and Dee Dee.
Dee Dee, right?
they're watching the drug commercials. Like drug, it's Pee Wee Herman.
Oh yeah,
Drugs
yeah,
are
yeah.
bad.
Drugs are bad. This is your brain on
California.
drugs. Yeah.
But
Old
they're,
drug
but they're
commercials.
going to skip school so they can go to the forest and paint a waterfall.
Real quick, yes, they're going to do that. But real quick, to talk
quick.
about the fact that she covers all the gags and all the
All
everything
the
in a
guys-
movie. They do the whole hand reaching out for the other hand thing too, which I had to point out because it was like, oh,
Dragging
let me
the
grab your
hellfire.
hand, and then no,
Dragging
she
the
gets
hell
dragged
away.
by the bear. Yeah. So yeah, they're watching old drug commercials, and they live in. Oh, we were wrong. Knoxville, Tennessee. I had a feeling
I thought it was Tennessee,
it was.
too.
Yep. So
I was like,
Knoxville,
you probably
Tennessee.
know, so.
And so the kids are like, let's sneak away and paint a waterfall.
No. The drug dealer guys are in Knoxville, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the cocaine's in Georgia.
Yes, the cocaine
Okay.
is in Georgia with all the rest of the characters.
Okay.
Right, because in Knoxville,
It's
it's
also
where
very
they.
confusing because it doesn't look any different.
Yeah, no, it's Well, they're very close. They're not far over. No, wait, aren't they in?
I mean, Everett,
Indy?
Tennessee, right next to Georgia.
No, because they were in Missouri.
Yes.
The drug dealers were in
No.
Missouri.
they weren't.
There's something like
They were in St. Louis.
They came from St. Louis to Knoxville, Tennessee. It's
Oh
very
my
fucking
God.
confusing.
Okay, whatever.
This plot
So anyway-
is way too convoluted.
So, but then guess we get George Maddox,
We get-
Secretary George Maddox.
Secretary George Maddox.
I watched Veep like so many times. So,
No, you haven't. No, I didn't know you liked this.
So here's the funny thing is I looked him up so that I'd have his name for the movie, and I thought it was going to be like detective something. Yeah, he's just listed as Bob.
Bob, that's his name. Bob.
Bob. That's it. Not detective, not
He is,
sergeant,
he is a
not...
detective, though. He says it at one point in the movie. He's like, "I'm a detective."
Okay.
But also, make me care about your character less. Name your character Bob.
Yeah, so Bob is looking for Sid, this drug dealer. And then there's Officer Reba.
Played by
and
the
she's there too.
late great Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Sid is played by the great Ray Liotta. And then we get Officer Reba, who I loved her look, but also
No
in
officer would wear that.
1985, no.
I was like, no,
There's no
I
way.
was doing the hair.
Nope. Not at all.
Also, as an officer, there's no way they're letting you wear your hair
Yeah, I
that
said
long.
legitimate, I said legitimate.
No, I was like, nope.
I
No.
was like, racism says no to that hair.
Yeah. But, he's talking to Officer Reba, and he's like, I gotta catch this drug dealer. We're trying to get this guy Sid. And then he's telling her about his dog, Rosetta. The most adorable little dog ever. Rosetta the dog. And how he loves his dog.
Remember that? You're going to see Rosetta a lot.
And also, at this point, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Can you
Sure.
see the fucking cocaine
There's
bear?
too much going on.
And then, guess what?
Not enough. Bear doing cocaine.
Yeah, and then we get to switch to the next group of people we meet who are some low-rung drug dealer guys.
Hey, we get Ice Cube Jr. though, so that's kind of nice.
That guy looks way too much like Ice Cube, and it's very.
And well, it's his son.
It's
He
his
played
son.
him.
Oh, this is son.
No,
That's
it's
his
his
son.
actual son,
Yeah.
yeah.
The fuck?
Yep.
It is. That's his son.
Yeah.
It's like a clone.
I
And
know.
he played him in the NWA buyout.
Yes.
That was his son.
I didn't know that's his son.
It's his real son.
And
Yeah.
by the way, he's probably one of the best people in this movie.
Yeah. He was
Double
great.
bound.
He was fantastic.
He was the only character I actually had a little bit of a grasp on. You know, like,
Yeah,
oh,
you're like,
everything else,
I
there,
care about this guy a
there.
little bit. He's also like that kid just kept fucking him up and saying, "Okay, it's funny. Like that's kind of funny."
And then we
Like, sorry,
also get
Alden
Ehrenreich. Alden Ehrenreich.
So he's like, "Where have I seen this guy?" I was like, "Solo," and she's like,
Yeah.
"No, it wasn't that. It was something else." I'm like, "No, it wasn't."
It
No.
was Solo.
A
was not
Fault in Our
something
Stars,
else.
maybe, or
Yeah.
something like that. It might have been that, yeah.
No,
Oh my god.
Did you watch A Fault in Our Stars? I think it was in that.
no, she didn't.
Oh, also, this was Ray
It could have been
Liotta's
Ansel
last
Elgort,
movie.
though.
Like you said, late great, but it was
Do
the
we
last
think
movie
this
he was
killed
in.
him?
No, I think
No.
the cocaine dealer killed him
Yeah.
for real.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't a stunt.
No, and he was like, "That's the way I'm going to
Spoilers.
go out." No,
I'm gonna
and
go
knowing
out.
Ray Liotta,
Have
he
a-
was like, "No,
Have a
that's how I'm
fucking
going."
cocaine
Yeah,
bear
exactly.
kill me, okay?
I got killed by the bear.
So, but also these relationships are all like really boring. They're just
Oh,
boring.
and
They're,
like, it's like, who cares?
No.
Yes, that's what it really was for me. I was like, I don't care about any of
Like
this.
Kara Russell and Dee Dee, like Saria and Dee Dee, like okay, a little bit because it's like a mother-daughter
But
thing,
barely.
but barely,
barely. We're gonna say it a lot.
barely. I like that. I
We're
like
gonna say it a lot.
that.
Don't pardon the pun.
Don't fucking give us any credence to that pun.
So we get to see Aaron Aldrich or Red son, Eddie, and he's depressed
Yes,
because
he's Eddie, yes.
he's depressed because his wife died, which is very depressing.
What is Ice Cube's son's character's name?
David.
Is
Yeah,
it David? I thought it was
David.
Steve.
No, it's
David.
David. It's David. Yeah.
Even worse than Steve.
Steve, oh god. No, Steve's way
I mean,
worse.
David's a good name. David Diggs.
For a black dude, Steve? No. Like, David. David is much better.
Also, what's his face? Son has a tattoo. that
Yeah,
he
he's got a
got.
tattoo. And so his late wife's
tattoo.
name was Joan, but what does his tattoo say?
This is John.
It says John. It's a dude's name.
It's funny.
Also, your tattoo artist is an asshole, I guess?
Yeah, really? Like, your tattoo artist was like, I'll give you a dude's name. He wasn't
Well,
like,
maybe they were high on coke.
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe you paid him in coke.
So then we come back to the kids, and the kids are like, oh, we're sneaking off.
That's kind
We're
of when
gonna
you
run
really
off
get
to
to
the
meet
woods.
Henry, is right here.
They're
Yes.
running off on their own to go so they're going to go into the forest, find a waterfall, and paint it.
Yep.
This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, yeah.
And they're also skipping school to do this.
I wouldn't have skipped school.
And not telling their mom really.
I wouldn't have skipped school.
The
but,
fuck what?
yeah. But I definitely would have done
But
it.
also, so the school immediately calls their house though and is like, yeah, they're skipping school.
Yeah.
And so the movie can happen, I guess. But also, like, are these kids just
Well, so
stupid?
they run off.
Yeah.
80s
They
kids
are.
running off. And then the mom gets home.
Oh, but
from,
Kara
like,
Russell is in a bathrobe though.
yeah, and the mom is a nurse, so she gets home after a long day. She pours herself some wine. She
Yeah.
takes a shower. She's like, I'm going to relax.
And I'm just like, let's see where this goes.
And she gets a call.
But then she gets a call and I'm like, motherfuckers!
Yeah.
There's probably an extended version for you.
I'm just saying.
So then she calls the dad because she and the dad are split. And his girlfriend or whatever is like, whatever. But then she sees her daughter's backpack in the backyard, which is just like, you left your backpack behind? You packed a hiking backpack and your school backpack and left your school backpack in the backyard of all places too. Like, leave it in the garage or something. But she finds her backpack
And
and
also,
searches
like,
through it.
none of this
What did she find in
matters.
the backpack? Bunch of toys and what?
Oh, Slim Jim's in there.
The fucking map to where they're
On
going.
the map, on the map. That
She
kissing
left
in
the map behind.
I mean, obviously
What?
it didn't hurt them in any way.
What?
They just were walking
What?
down a path. You know?
I guess so.
Then we get to meet a very wasted character, our forest ranger,
Oh my god.
who
Margot Martindale.
Margot Martindale, who's an amazing.
Amazing!
Actress.
Love her. I've
So
loved her for years.
wasted
I've
here.
loved her for years. I've loved her since she was in The Rocketeer. Like, that's how long I've loved this woman.
reminds me of watching like movie 43. It was like a bunch of great actors be like, oh, there's gonna be a
Yeah.
good performance here. I was like, no, okay.
She would. No, I agree. Completely wasted. I love her, and this character was so bad and dry
I didn't
and just
care
not,
at all about this. Any of this. I was like,
Well, and
whatever.
they wrote like 5 lines for her, and they're just like,
Yeah.
say the line,
Like-
say what's on the thing.
You're horny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically,
like-
I'm horny. That's why I was like,
Okay.
cool.
And, like, this
Okay.
is gonna play into something.
No,
it doesn't.
Her whole love interest, Jesse Tyler Ferguson from
was that Jesse Tyler?
Modern
Ferguson?
Family.
Yeah, shit, I didn't even recognize that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was. And yes, he is almost
They're
unrecognizable.
both wasted. Like both great comedic actors.
What? Now,
and
what
wasted.
is his character, by the way? Is he like a biologist?
He's a
or something?
conservationist.
Is that a job? Is
Yeah.
that a thing you
That's
can
his
be?
job. That's his job.
I don't know if that's a thing.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't.
But
check
you know,
his resume,
those
But
two
she's
are
wearing the
working.
European perfume.
Those two are working.
And also, we're getting like these little punk kids.
Oh
who are
yeah,
drug dealers
who are just
or
like
something?
dealing, stealing stuff from her.
and like they're very punky. I
Yeah.
have their name. Their names are in here eventually. I'm not going to look it up right now.
Stash. One of them is Stash. So she's hitting on this conservationist who comes and visits like once a month or something.
What's his name, by the way? I'm serious. I don't know. I don't think they said his name once.
I'm
that's
sure
it.
they did.
Steve.
Peter.
Peter.
His
Yeah.
name's Peter.
Sure.
Right? Sure.
Sure, Pete.
Jake.
So,
Jake
and
Sully.
then the
It's Jake Sully.
mom comes along and she's like, "Hey, my daughter was coming up here with her friend. They're skipping school. I need to go find this waterfall. Can you take me there?" And of course, Margot Martindale's like, "Oh, just go take the trail," because she wants them to be alone. And
Because
she
she
was
doesn't
like,
get
Fuck
it.
out.
yeah.
dude.
And Peter's like, no, she can come with us because she needs to find the kids. And so they go off to find the kids. And guess where the kids are? The kids are at a crossroads watching where the trail is. And then they find a package. Oh, first they leave some food.
Which, by the way, they immediately identify as cocaine.
Yeah, they know it's drugs already.
And
They're like,
it's a
because we saw
impulse package.
it on TV. Remember that movie or whatever that had cocaine or
I'm like,
whatever?
I guess this is sort of plot can move along.
Luckily, the
I'll
cocaine
keep
looks
going.
exactly the same as it does in the movies.
Mm-hmm,
You know, so.
And so what do? Of course, they like turn this into police, right?
Yeah, no, they're like, let's try it. We're like 12?
And like, do you think you have to eat it? And I'm like, please don't do that.
No.
It still works if you eat it.
And like, it like numbs you. It doesn't work as well, for the record.
They ate a lot of it though.
Yeah,
Like
you don't,
a large spoonful in their
yeah,
mouth.
but they did spit it out, which was smart.
Yeah.
But also, like, they don't really get high.
I'm sure it
either.
tastes like shit. So
Yeah, no, it does taste like shit.
oh,
It's bad. It tastes good. Yeah. So weird.
No, I could
And
tell.
also, like, I'm like, okay, so we're going in with kids doing cocaine.
Exactly, that's what I mean. This whole movie is just shock. I'm like, that's what this is going to be.
But not really. Like, it's like they don't do anything cool. There's
No,
like,
that's the thing.
oh, a
right?
funny joke.
We tried it.
And now I'm really
yeah,
high.
and then, and they're not crazy afterwards or anything.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay,
I guess
sure.
there are people that were kind of mad about like them, like these. It's like they're not
Yeah.
really doing the drugs.
Yeah.
now. Like they're just actors acting
Yeah.
like they're doing.
But also, like, they didn't write anything in there either. Like, do like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then I get caught by my mom, or like, I'm gonna do it, but now I'm high because I'm high,
Yeah.
and we're going full in on this kids
So
doing
anyway,
cocaine thing.
This other storyline is that Sid, Ray Liotta's
Yeah, also,
character.
there's another storyline.
There's so many
here.
storylines.
And
It's
there's
like
not
watching
enough cocaine there
Manifest.
storyline.
Oh my god. So Ray Liotta's character sends
Yoda.
Ray Liotta's character sends David and
Right?
Eddie out to go get this cocaine at this park. So of course they're going out there, and then Bob hears that Sid might be going, so then he's going out there. So everyone's
Yeah,
going
somehow-
to this
somehow
skate park in Georgia.
Somebody that Bob knows hears his son and David talking in a bar.
yeah.
So he
Yeah,
knows
and
they're going
they tell you this by just flashing to that scene
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
happened, and you're like,
okay, like sure,
I'm like, somebody's just like, I'm gonna knock on these guys' head.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, like sure.
So the movie can happen.
Mm.
But like, I'd say it is unnecessary for the police character to be there at any point throughout this movie. His character doesn't make any sense. First of all, out of his jurisdiction. Second of all, doesn't make any sense to go
Which
there.
the other cop mentions, she's like, this isn't your jurisdiction. He's like, oh yeah, but I got a tip. And you're like, that doesn't matter.
No, that
though.
doesn't matter at all.
You
no.
can't do anything, and you're just a guy with a gun.
Yeah, you're literally.
So
no.
he leaves Rosetta, his dog, with Reba, Officer Reba, because he's like, someone's got to take care of it. Didn't you say you had a dog? And she's like,
Who's
I said
such
my
a great
dog
sidekick,
died.
and I can't wait to see her come back later in the movie and
Oh
be
my
a
God.
great character.
So then they're on the trail, and Margot's character, let's see, Park Ranger Liz is hitting on
Ranger
Peter.
Liz.
And, remember, she brings her gun with her when they go on the trail.
Which is like a fucking 45 revolver.
Seriously.
Like, it's like a Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah, and that comes into play later. She has maybe the best line in the movie. Sari's like, is that really necessary? And she goes, Park Rangers are peace officers, which means we can shoot people. Like,
She does say
okay.
that.
And somebody wrote that one.
Okay, yeah. But then we do get, like, the one, like you said, the one scene where you kind of connect with this guy, and that he's in the park bathroom, he's got to go to the bathroom, and he gets jumped by these stupid punks.
It's like tweakers, basically.
Yeah.
Druggies
They're-
are
yeah.
jumping
I feel
the
like
drug
they're
guy.
like. I feel like they're like a juxtaposition of
Well,
maybe.
they've also like somehow found out that like David like is looking for the drugs, and so they're like, we're going to get the drugs by robbing him or something.
They're kind of like the guys from Letterkenny, the loser kids that
Like the meth heads?
kinda like the meth heads. They're basically like the meth heads, but like even like less character development. So it's just like okay.
I think they were just being assholes.
also David beats the shit out of them.
I think they had already found some of the drugs, but they were
Yeah,
just
they did.
like little assholes. So they just attack him in the bathroom, and
They,
he
yeah, they
takes them
found
out.
it because they like, produced a bag like, I found
Yeah.
this, and that's how it was.
Yeah.
And that's what he keeps the one guy with him is because he found
Mm-hmm.
those drugs.
So when they attack him in the bathroom, And he just takes him out.
He
But-
gets stabbed in the back.
He does do what you would do at the end of a fight like that. He checks himself for holes.
Well, and we don't. That
you feel
was
like-
like I said. This was maybe my favorite scene in the movie because it was very well done. They do all the fights. It's well choreographed, and you're thinking he like checks himself, and it was so fast. You're like, oh yeah, he didn't get stabbed, and then he turns, and there it is, just
Also,
sticking out of his back.
The only reason to fight in a men's room is to smash a dude's head into a urinal.
Right.
That's like the
Absolutely.
only reason to fight in them.
But you guys, what does he get stabbed through? His jersey.
Yeah, he really
he
liked the
loves
jersey, yeah.
that jersey, and
He's
he
a big
gets
fan of
stabbed
that
through
jersey.
it. Yeah, and he's just upset.
Also, that is not like you just take the knife out stab. That's like it's in the meat of his shoulder, and it's like maybe about 2 to 3 inches.
You know, but there is no vital organs there.
No, but it would weep for a while.
It's probably the
No.
good place to get stabbed, I guess. You know, if you're gonna get stabbed somewhere, it's not gonna feel
you
great.
definitely have to put some pressure on it. I
Yeah, it'd be
agree.
really
yeah,
tough
yeah.
to
Or
pull
like
out.
sew it
too.
up or something.
It'd be really tough to pull out just from being.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's in a weird
Yeah.
spot, weird location.
Whatever. Okay, so he gets stabbed. But they get Stash, the leader, and they're like, tell us where you found these drugs. Because
So
they
I
find the drugs.
didn't
on
get
him.
any of their names, so I kept calling the one guy that came with him the bleached asshole.
But he's like, oh, we stashed it under a gazebo. That's what he keeps saying.
Inside a gazebo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I think he does see under the gazebo.
Under
It's
gazebo.
not on the gazebo
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. No, and then
We'll get
he's
to
like, the gazebo, and he's like, oh, it's like a
This
structure.
gazebo?
And he's like, I know what a
Fun
gazebo
stuff
is
to do.
because, you know, the jokes they're just all so great.
Mm.
So then everyone's on the cocaine trail at this point. I thought that was a
On the
funny way
cocaine
on the
trail.
cocaine trail.
Yeah, they're all like you get the ham-handed feeling that everyone's going to end up meeting.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And that's what
So
you
then-
want in an ensemble cast like this.
Ham-handed feelings. Yeah.
But so then the kids did the cocaine and then they kind of started up the trail, but they left some snacks behind, some carrots and some celery, and the bear finds it, and then the bear finds more cocaine, and then the bear finds the
and
kids.
the Rangers end up meeting up. The Ranger and the conservationist person end up meeting up with them too. And except this is the one line that Jesse Tyler Ferguson's character, he goes, "Bears are peaceful creatures," and the bear's like, "I'm going to kill you," basically.
Right, but it attacks the kids first, so they come upon them, and Henry's up in the tree, and he's like, the bear.
Can bears climb trees? And he's like, yeah!
Yeah, no, they
Okay.
can't.
Actually,
Why
that
are you
was
in a
my
tree?
grandfather,
Yeah.
I think. He's like,
Oh, yeah, they can climb
Yeah.
trees.
But
Dum-dum.
which I always think of. But also he goes, it took Dee Dee, and it's
The
like,
monster took her.
well, if
that's what I
it
said.
took her, then she's dead,
Yeah, it's like
right?
she's dead.
Like if it dragged her away.
It was a mom bear. She's a baby. You know, maybe.
Well, but then they're like,
No.
it chased her, and
Incorrect.
it's like, well,
it killed everything else.
yeah, how did it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But whatever. None of this movie
Everyone
makes
knows
sense.
when you're on cocaine, you're really nice to kids. That's just
but-
what you do. Okay.
Ranger
They-
Liz gets a little bite out of her ass, though. At this
Yeah.
point.
So then Ranger Liz just starts shooting into the fucking trees for no reason, like just wasting
Man,
bullets.
he
into the
was like,
fucking-
stay, can you not do
Yeah.
that?
They're showing you that she's very bad at being an officer.
And you just know they're all gonna die. But then the adults also come upon the cocaine, and then Peter accidentally just breathes
Falls
in
right
a
into
whole
it,
bunch
yeah.
of it. He
Yeah.
falls right into it and inhales it. And then when he has to climb that tree, he's up that tree.
And basically, the cocaine, like, if you have any cocaine in you or on you, the bear's like, I'm gonna fucking eat your ass and get the cocaine somehow. I'm not
because the
sure
bear's
how it works.
addicted to
Yeah,
it
I
now
guess,
because
yeah.
it had some. So
Yes.
And
right? That's how
what
it works.
happens to bears.
that's how it works,
So
right?
what is this? It's part of it. Like, okay, cool, I
Oh
guess.
my god. Okay. So
So Cocaine Bear mauls the fuck out of the tree hugger guy after leaping
Peter,
from the kids'
So he
tree
basically
to
just eats
tree.
like his dick
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
The bear just like
Yeah, I mean,
It
yes.
gets him.
smacks on
Well,
his
there's like a
penis
cool
area.
scene where he's like laying down, the blood's like going on. I'm like, okay, that's horror.
and then they do the scene where he just like falls and then his body parts fall.
Okay.
Like it definitely was horror, but it was just
They were
bad.
definitely trying stuff here, guys. Okay, it wasn't always working or even getting close
or
to
any
working,
of it was working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they were trying things.
So
okay?
then we come upon. So then, sorry, and the kids come upon. Oh no, sorry,
no, sorry, is her name? Yeah,
but Martin. Ranger Liz comes back to her station.
She was back to the station. Yeah.
And she and the tweakers are talking, and they're like, yeah, that it attacked us in the bathroom, that monster did. And she's like, oh, it attacked us in the woods, because they're confused.
Yeah.
They're talking about a
We're
man,
talking
and
about a
she's
man.
talking about the bear. Yeah. Oh.
Like, oh, it's so dumb.
Well,
These dumb tweakers. They're
so she's
dumb.
like, it attacked you too? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, we already called 911. Or we called the ambulance.
Ambulance.
And then they hear something outside and they're like, it's him. She's like, open the door and I'll shoot him. So the one guy opens the door and it's the bear out there. And then he gets into her line of vision to go, it's a bear. And because she's been like mauled on her side and she's a terrible park ranger, she's just terrible.
Yeah.
She fucking shoots this guy right in the head. And of course you see it. You see like the whole
some
scene of
goofy
her.
gore.
And then you're just,
yeah.
And you're just like, what? And then she's just like, oops, I shot him.
Yeah,
Like,
luckily
what?
Jill has no feelings about murder
No,
person.
she's just like, oh, I guess I shot him. And then the bear,
I mean, he was the fat kid, so it's okay.
the bear goes in there and just attacks them.
Yeah, just like
But
kind of
again, doesn't
Yeah.
kill all of them. Just kind of attacks some of them. Some of them are fine.
Yeah, like,
I have no time to get invested in any of these characters. I'm trying my hardest. I'm like,
Guys, I think that the moral is don't do drugs.
sure.
A bear might eat you.
No. So
That
then
results in drugs.
the ambulance shows up. And it has the bloody, they do the whole bloody
guys,
handprint.
you're
like,
skipping a great scene. Hold
Oh,
the fuck up.
sorry.
yeah.
Because they're doing 20 questions.
Oh
And-
my god.
And David is really bad at it. I'm so glad they kept it in here because it meant a lot of story development for me. And I was like,
Because like, oh, now I care about any of these characters.
They're becoming friends, get it? Eddie's like, Eddie, who abandoned his child with his father,
Who he knows, and known
who's
asshole.
a terrible person, and he hates his father, is like, why do we even do what he tells us to? We should get out.
He literally he's like, my dad sucks, and he's like, but also I left my kid with him. I'm like, well,
Who
the
wrote
bad
this?
guy
Who
here?
wrote this?
Them.
And he's like, we need to get out from under his thumb and escape. So why wouldn't you have your kid with you so you could fucking escape? Like, what?
A lot of weird stuff going on here.
Yeah, so they're playing 20 questions.
Also, let's get past that.
Oh, and then Sari
Love
and
this.
Henry find the paint, right?
paint.
Yeah.
Well, first, Bob shows up. Bob's like, pulls up and it's like, yeah, I did it. I'm here, guys. I can't wait to be in this part.
I'm going to be in the ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's where we get, so yeah, the ranger station's closed because she had left before, but we do see, like, they do the bloody
carnage,
hand,
yeah.
like, sticking up,
Yeah.
like, oh!
He's a really good villain.
Yeah, so we get the blood of the paint on the rock. She sees red on there. She's like, oh, no. And we're like, fine, okay. And then she tells us, like, it's paint. I know it's paint because paint.
Because I'm a nurse.
I'm a nurse and I know it's not blood.
This is when I remember they were supposed to be painting. I was like, oh yeah, they're supposed to be painting. Yeah.
And then she's like, and then all of a sudden you see, oh, there's different color paints.
So,
Just leave it
this
true.
is what I want to know, though. If the bear was chasing her, she's running, she doesn't have time to stop and paint. If the bear's dragging her, she also doesn't
throwing
have...
on the ground.
I guess
None of this makes any sense.
so. No, it doesn't. It really...
Now, guys, cool medics. Let's go. These guys are really cool.
I hated this scene.
This is what medics
I am a fan of gore.
do. And medics?
But this scene was just too much because everyone was
There's a
just
lot.
so stupid.
I was
Everyone was so stupid. And it made no sense.
Oh, I
it
mean,
was just...
this AMT walks up in this crime scene.
Yeah, so they
Like,
come
first of all,
up...
there's something in the door in the way, and of course the guy that got shot in the face, so they're trying to like push
Also, he
the
doesn't
door.
really like look. He just like he's like, have me push the door. I'm like, oh, it's a guy. Ah,
Yeah, they're like, something's there. Oh, it's a body. What?
and they shrug real hard.
So then...
Everybody's gonna be dead. Of course, the bear's not gonna be there, but if not everyone's dead, Ranger Liz is still alive,
Somehow...
and they're trying to get like, hey,
But
are
she
you
can't
okay?
say anything.
And meanwhile, the dude
okay.
EMT's like, I'm just gonna walk around and look at shit in this active crime scene.
Yeah, like
It's all
the
over.
guy's been shot, and he's like, "Oh, let me go see what's in this dark room." Like,
And they can tell he's been shot. Like, they even ask her if she's the one who shot him. And he's like,
so anyway, they go in, they find her, they realize it's a bear, they all run. Now,
And the bear is running after him.
no, I don't care if that bear's on cocaine. That bear cannot go faster than a fucking
That-
vehicle.
Bear is on cocaine.
Cocaine makes bears run up to 60
This is
miles
how I
per hour.
know, because literally here, go bear!
So, oh, that was nice. Yeah. So they get her in the ambulance. He runs up, meets the ambulance, gets in there. She's driving
Meets
away.
it.
Meets him, Wink.
He's in the back. The bear jumps into the fucking ambulance. throws Margot Martindale out, and then she's just dragged along the road.
This was actually
and I was
pretty
like,
visceral
it was
for me.
so visceral. I was
whoa.
like, but without it, just wasn't. It was just there.
See, I thought like a funnier joke would have been like she kept surviving these things
Right.
or something.
No, I was like, did she live? Like, what's going
just
on
died.
Like
here?
was the actress just like, no, I'm
Spoiler,
good.
she's
Right.
dead right there.
She
Yeah,
just
I'm
died.
good. Yeah,
No
I'm
shit.
good.
And then the bear is in the back of the ambulance with him. You see his wrist is just like cut in half because his
No,
hand just like goes
compound
backwards.
fracture,
Yeah. And then she, of course, sees him freaking out, looks up, hits a tree, and then goes flying through the front of the windshield. And you're just like, so
Dead.
everyone just dies. So
Yeah.
that's, everyone's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
dying. Sure.
Yeah,
Right?
because
Sure.
we don't care about
Hey,
these characters.
didn't have time to invest in
Yeah,
any
yeah.
of those characters, so it's fine.
Nope. And then more drug stuff. Like drugs, I guess.
Also, this bear
Oh.
teleports throughout the land to get to the place it needs to be for the
Oh yeah, everything's within
but I
like,
guess
200
also
feet.
we're supposed to learn always wear a seatbelt.
Always. Hey, everyone has to wear a seatbelt now. Did you see? It's all over all the roads. It's new New York State law. It doesn't matter how old you are. Everyone has to wear a seatbelt front and back.
Was that not a law at all?
It was not older than 14. I think it was. You didn't have to. You didn't know that?
No, my kids.
You're older than I am.
I know, man. I was.
So you're a fucking user.
You mean like in '85, or you mean like right now?
Well, I mean, recently.
Yeah, man. My kids. Everyone always wears a fucking.
Everyone
seatbelt.
always wears a seatbelt. I'm just saying you technically didn't have to
The
if you were
fuck?
14 and older and then the back seat.
Guys,
The
look,
fuck,
this is when we realized this is based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Matt? Do you know the true story?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell us the true story? real
It's
quick?
so much sadder.
The bear that they found dead of cocaine overdose.
And that was it.
That's it.
That's the whole story.
It didn't even get to wreak havoc and murder a human for
Which
killing
would have
it.
been cool, but
Yeah,
No.
there was no murders involved with this bear. It is just a bear that died of a cocaine overdose. Like, wow,
He
we'll
was
make
dead.
a whole story
And the true
about
story
this.
is it was 2 drug dealers and they abandoned the plane. So the plane eventually crashed too. It's like they were real assholes. Like what?
You don't get caught.
Yeah. Oh God. All right, let's get through this.
Guys, motherfuckers in the woods have a time of their life. David, bleach asshole, Eddie. They walk around. They're
Bleached
bonding.
asshole. I like that.
There's
I
bonding.
call him dweeb. That's what I
Yeah,
call him.
they're bonding. They're having fun. They're having a good time. And we care about them because of this. We're like, I'm
Sure.
invested.
I don't. I'm not invested at
I'm
all.
here for this.
Like David is a character I'm probably the most invested in. Eddie is just a whiny bitch, and I don't.
So
I don't
then-
fuck you. I
So
don't-
Bob is like, he's tired. He's been walking for a while.
Yeah,
He
Bob made it
sits
to there
in
before
this
them.
gazebo.
somehow he got up on top of this fucking gazebo. By the way,
Look, yeah,
old ass man.
But at this point, he just sits down and looks up and sees the drugs are just there. I'm like, okay.
They're like up in the
Like,
rafters.
we don't even get this like a minute of detective work. He's just like, there it is.
Oh.
He immediately finds it, and great. It helps move the plot along. This movie, by the way, is 90 minutes long.
Yeah, because they didn't want to do anything. They
And
just-
it was
though,
still
Oh,
too
Bob
long.
first truck. He got
Also, though, how can a 90-minute movie feel too long?
Yeah.
It does. It feels too long, but then you're like, why is this movie still fucking
like
going
if you would
on?
have told me this movie was like 3 hours long, I'd be like, oh, okay.
It felt
Yeah.
like it. It did. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, man. Like,
So
this is
yeah,
still going.
anyway, they have like a little bit of a shootout. David loses one of his fingers.
no,
No.
He loses 2 of his
Oh,
drugs,
Here's the biggest fucking problem.
and they're not consecutive.
Here's the biggest problem, okay?
This is the only part I laughed at. He gets his finger shot off, his middle finger and his pinky finger, and Eddie immediately calls us out. He's like, "That's not even consecutive." Oh no, actually, bleach asshole does. He goes, "There's not even consecutive fingers, dude."
Also, they have a gun pointed at each other. He goes, throw your gun down, and he throws the gun. It's 1-on-1, dude. First of all, technically, it's 2-on-1. If he aims at the other guy, you can still shoot him. Like, why would you give up? He's not really on the high ground.
He wasn't really into this, and he
Yeah.
actually literally is in the high ground.
Yeah, but he's not, because
He's literally not.
there's no way he can hide anywhere up there.
He's
He is literally
Obi-Wan-
a spot
yeah.
where
While
they
he's
shoot
Obi-Wan,
him.
Yeah,
Anakin is the beat.
Yeah.
Bam, gone. Like, I was like, what are you fucking doing? Like,
But also then he like thinks better of it or something. He like goes for the gun, and that's when he gets.
but
his
also,
hand
yeah,
shot.
shoots his hand. So,
But then guess what? The bear comes upon them, and the bear's smelling all around.
He loves some cocaine. He
Now,
loves some
it
cocaine.
is the first part in the movie because every other time people have run from the bear and they're like, play dead. And it works because the bear just sniffs
Eddie-
around
Eddie-
them.
Eddie dead, yeah.
And then it really likes the way
asshole bear.
Eddie smells because it stands over him, smells him, and then just collapses
Pass out.
on top of it, like
as
passes
a
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Coked out bear.
He's hitting the low, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He's a little asleep.
And
Or
poor
she, it's a
Eddie's
she.
poor Eddie is just
How
covered
much do
in bear.
bears weigh?
Like a lot.
Probably like 5
He would have been.
500
He would have been
pounds?
fucking
Yeah,
crushed.
he would hurt
There's
bad.
no way he would have been able to hold it up.
Okay, so the weight is distributed. It would not have felt good.
He
for
would have
sure.
hurt real bad.
Yeah, but yeah, he would. He
probably would have suffocated.
I mean, he probably was like
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
so
He
he had a
probably
little bit of
suffocated.
air, but he would have he would
would've
have had a
felt
really hard time getting out.
Yeah, it would've
Yeah,
felt good, yeah.
yeah.
for sure. But also, he knows the bear's female. How does he know that?
Because its vagina's on my head,
On
which
my
doesn't
ear.
make sense because your
Yeah.
head's like
No,
up
That's what I
here.
saw that. His
Yeah.
head was behind the bear's
Yeah.
head, so I
Guys,
didn't get that
I
either.
think we should be more semantic about this.
I was like, how? When he said that, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's what
Oh my
I
god.
was dreaming. I was like, the
Like,
fuck?
if he would have said that it was by my foot, that would have made sense. Okay,
So then,
that's where his foot was.
So Sami Zayn is back then.
All I wrote the guy from the first part of the movie.
Yeah, so he's back and he's like, oh, the devil bear took
Oh.
my Elsa.
Well, let's. So we did forget the bear gets up because cocaine.
Okay. Yeah.
Eats a whole patch of cocaine, and then
Oh, that was after this, though. That was after they
Was
found
it after
this?
this?
is after Olaf came back. Yeah, because I have guys
Yeah,
from
because
the
it's
first
the
part of the movie.
first time where they
And
see
he's
him
very
again.
sad. His girlfriend gets ready. He calls it the devil.
He's
bear.
like mourning
Yeah.
her, yeah,
The
and
devil
they're
bear.
like, "Oh yeah, we know the bear," and he's like, and they're like, "Did you see it with a little girl?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it took her
Well,
that way
why does
to
the
its
bear wake
cave."
up too, Mike? Why does the bear wake up?
it wakes up
Because the coke dropped near it,
Yeah,
out of David's pocket,
yeah,
and it's like coke. Well,
yeah. 'Cause it's a coke fiend.
because the thing is a fucking fiend.
It was very much like Jaws, but a bear. Like that's how I feel a lot of this
They
movie
do-
was.
I like that they do draw. Bob draws the bear away by just making it snow.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
before that, this bear eats a full brick of cocaine.
Yeah.
Slides it down his throat like it's deep throat of the fucking.
No, yeah,
It's funny because
Okay.
it's funny.
no.
Guys, it's funny. I don't think you understand. This movie is funny. It's a comedy. It's a horror comedy.
Also,
So-
they keep talking about how there's millions of dollars of coke. Millions. This bear is eating most of your fucking coke at this point. Like,
Well, no. So
Just give up.
one
But
of the
also, if
funny,
it hasn't, then just look for that other.
one
coke.
of the funny parts of the movie is in the foreground. You keep seeing these duffel bags hanging from the trees, but they just like walk by them, and it's like, "There's more coke. You're missing it." It's like,
These
there's-
dumbasses.
yeah. So they give the cocaine to the bear, and then we find out Officer Reba was crooked, and I was like, "Oh no." This
Oh,
movie
weird.
is still going
I
on,
mean, look,
and
that character-
Officer Reba
That's
is
the
crooked.
character I care about the most.
Yeah.
I care about
really
her so much.
Yeah.
That's what I
gave
remember.
such
easily
a
could have
shit.
forgot about this character if it wasn't for her hair being on her uniform.
Yeah.
No,
No, and then I do love though that Bob was like, "How's Rosetta?" Because he knows he's probably gonna die, and she's like, "She's fine," and he's like, "I miss her so much," and it's like, you left your dog with her. Why didn't you bring your dog with you? It's a little ass fucking dog.
why did
Like,
you go here in the first
But
place?
also,
That's
like-
the real question.
This like fully feels like filler added in. Like,
Oh,
they're like,
no.
oh fuck, we're at 80 minutes right now. We gotta get 10 more
A
minutes.
Yeah,
lot of this
like,
felt like filler.
It
10 more
was.
minutes so
Oh
we
my
get this-
god.
Like,
oh
just
my
put,
God.
also just put more cocaine bear in there.
So then they go into the cave.
CGI
Am I
costs
right?
money.
Am I
CGI
right?
costs money, dude.
They go into the
Retro
cave.
Flex, man, come on.
And first they see these bears and they're like, are they polar bears? Because they look white.
Cooked
But
up
you know what it
cubs.
is? They're baby bears and they're
It's
all
covered
high
in
on cocaine.
They're
But then
adorable, though.
They find Dee Dee and she's like, they're harmless. These baby bears are totally harmless. I've just been sitting here with them. We're totally fine. Like, they haven't smelled me and thought she might be
And then
delicious.
they'll hug in the
Bears
middle of
are
this fucking
cute.
bear cave.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. You can
Yeah,
hug later.
and then
But they
Tormund,
don't do that.
R.I.P. Tormund, because he gets killed off screen.
Off screen.
Off
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
man. Wow.
And then we just get the climax of drugs
That
and
motherfucker's giant
waterfalls and
You don't even hear him scream.
Jumping.
And cocaine bear.
so the cave backs into the waterfall that they were going to find, and everyone's there.
Which is
David and
underwater?
Eddie and no, it's like it's a waterfall, and then they have to jump into the water. It comes from behind
just
the
dark.
waterfall.
That's
And
why it
yeah,
looks like
it's just dark. Yeah,
That's why it looks like from the
layer.
ground.
yeah,
It's dark.
yeah. It's like a lair. It's like an underground
bear
lair.
Also, this waterfall
a
sucks.
bear lair.
What are you painting on here? You're an idiot. Like, this is
No,
stupid.
I mean, I'm sure the waterfall's
The other
nice.
side of the
but it's
waterfall
dark.
is
You're
great.
fine.
It's
You're fine.
No, you're an idiot.
It's nighttime.
Where are you painting?
Yeah, but
idiot?
where would you paint on a waterfall?
The butt.
Just like
You mean
on
the
a
big
dry ass rock
sucking
that's
on?
near there, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't paint in the wet area of the waterfall.
No,
So
Bob
you're,
Ross
you're
would paint
looking
that
at it
shit.
from far away.
Why?
Because waterfalls
Why?
are beautiful.
yeah, so leave it alone. Don't paint it. That's all I'm saying.
Jeez.
Don't paint the waterfalls.
Wow,
This whole movie,
It's really
these kids are
aggressive.
safe. These kids are safe if they don't go paint that waterfall.
Are
They already
you going to go yell at your kids?
They're
Like, don't paint waterfalls!
Yes.
I see
They're
it
gonna
tomorrow.
take
I'm
the
gonna let
soul
them
of
know.
Don't paint
Waterfall.
waterfalls!
If I hear you're going to go paint a
Dumb
waterfall, I
little
swear
fucks.
to God.
So anyway, Sid comes up. He's killed
Don't eat
Bob.
cocaine. Why?
Officer Reba is like, "Fuck it, I'm out." Sid's like, "We got to get all the drugs." And
Also,
David
Bob
and-
died at one point.
Yeah. So
You forgot that part.
David
he's
and
like
Eddie.
died, yeah.
Yeah. So
He's hurt.
David and Eddie.
No, he died.
Yeah, but he was hurt.
died.
I bet he was hurt. He was going to die. There's nothing he was going to do.
So David and Eddie and Sid are there, and Sari's there with the kids. And Sid's like, "We need to get the drugs. We got to get all the drugs." And they're like, "No, fuck it."
Also, there's a conflict between these two groups now.
Mm-hmm.
And at
Why?
one point, Sid throws his gun to Sorry?
I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. I'm just like, what? I don't care about any of this anymore. Like, everybody get killed by cocaine.
Yeah, and I'm like, where is this cocaine bear? I want to end this.
yeah, murder everyone.
Can he
please.
kill me when he's done? Can
Please.
she kill me?
Yeah.
Can she, I'm sorry.
Can she also
kill
come
me
to the screen and
and
kill
kill
us?
me?
Yeah, catch his gun.
Oh, so yeah, Sid gets disemboweled, and then the cubs eat the intestines.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Well, no, he shoots the bear, but then it
Cocaine.
gets
Yeah,
more
cocaine,
cocaine,
yeah.
and it comes back
Yeah.
to life, and it attacks him.
And that's
And
the,
Sid's
the
gone.
that's literally the most plausible part of this movie.
So, and the movie is still
It's
going.
like Popeye spinach.
Eddie
Yeah.
gets hurt, or David gets hurt. I can't. So one of them gets hurt.
David gets hurt.
Yeah,
He
David gets
shot
hurt,
in
and
the
they're like,
neck.
"She's a
Like right here.
nurse," so she comes up and saves
Like,
him.
like
I
in his-
guess.
in his, like-
Yeah,
That's what nurses do.
yeah, sure.
They save
So
people.
I call this, by the way, before they
Yeah.
kids call it. I was
She's a
like,
nurse.
she's a fucking nurse, though.
Yeah.
So she doesn't need band-aids or anything. She can just like,
Yeah,
blue, and then he'll be better.
she's the mulligan.
What does Reba say about the dog when she gives the dog to him?
Oh yeah, so no, they get out. They're back at the
Yeah.
where the cars are, like where the parking lot is, and
Eddie gets a new dog.
Reba comes back right when they do. Basically, she must walk really slowly, but she's there and they're there, and she just fucking. First of all, she lets the dog out and then just lets it go.
Yeah.
She doesn't even
What
give
does
it
she
to
say,
him.
though?
I mean, she is a double agent.
She
with
says
being paid off
her
by
name's
her.
Rosette and she doesn't like fudge.
Oh yeah, she goes. Her name's Rosetta, and she doesn't like fudge.
No dog should be eating fucking fudge.
Yeah, we're like,
what are you
why-
talking about? Like,
What
Well, I
did
mean, she
dog
tested
eat?
out the dog.
That's not a
didn't eat
fucking
fudge.
thing.
The dog confirmed he
Yeah.
ate fudge.
What?
There is the funnier line in here is he brings Eddie brings the dog into the car. He's like, I think this is like my calling. This is my dog. And David looks over and goes, "Is it on cocaine?"
Yeah.
That's what I laughed in this movie.
Yeah.
Is there a sequel to this movie, Cocaine Dog?
No, and then there's the terrible part is they're
I
like
laughed so hard there
because Sari doesn't have a car because she rode her bike around. She and the kids are walking out of the
Okay,
park.
I see Sun was the best part of this movie.
Yeah, and
Right? Am I
walking
right?
out of this park, and they're just walking past all the dead bodies, and she's just like, "Don't look." So, but guess what?
Yeah, it's like don't look at them.
By the way, and no, and the kids are like, "We don't want to. We've been through enough." But did you know there was an after credits scene to this movie?
No,
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't have it. Slotslate.com.
Guess what? So
I watched
just
this in the
no.
theater,
I
so
feel like
I
we
should've
didn't.
stayed, I
I feel like
guess.
we didn't stay. Yeah. So there is an after credit scene where we see David and Eddie pick up Eddie's son, and they like go off
Gabe,
together.
Gabe, yes.
And
They-
then
they- oh, yeah,
there's
they-
another scene where Stash kept one of the bags of cocaine and hitchhikes to New York City because that's what he wanted to
Sequel
do.
time,
cocaine
baby.
rats, maybe.
Cocaine rats. Oh my god. Cocaine
Also,
alligators.
at the end of this,
That's Beth Gabe.
the bear is alive.
And that movie does exist.
Yeah, and the bear and the cubs are like
Live
rolling
happily
around in
ever
cocaine.
after.
But where's BJ? No BJ, just
no
the bear.
BJ, just the bear.
And that show the bear is a monkey.
Okay,
Is
well
this
we watched
movie
that
worse
movie.
than Yoga Hosers?
No, better. I actually didn't hate this movie. I didn't hate
I
Road
did.
Trip,
I hated this movie.
I hated it.
The plot was non-existent. It killed
It was
me.
boring.
I'm
I
gonna
think
tell
that's the
you
worst part
something
about it, it was
too.
boring.
The quality of the movie really
good.
it was
It was really
so.
good.
I like the experiences. I was
Yeah, we
just
should have
like,
gone to a better theater.
We should have gone to the theater to see it.
yeah, we should have gone to a much better theater.
We
Hey,
saw
guys,
this, of course.
We'll burn this movie though because it's pretty terrible. And
And I still love
we're not
Elizabeth,
watching.
Elizabeth Banks. I do. She's great.
But-
I love most of the people in it, but
Stinky Linky, for instance.
Thanks for stopping by, and stay classy.
And don't do cocaine with the bear.